Hello and welcome, parents of our future Field Tigers. I'm Dr. Miller, principal of Field School, and I'm so sorry we are not able to meet in person at this time, which is traditionally done here at Field for transition from 5th to 6th. But I'm hoping to be able to provide you with quite a bit of information to help you become more familiar with Field. I'll also be doing a presentation for your children, so they will also have an opportunity to learn much of this information, but I'm going to gear it towards them, so it'll be a little bit different, but mainly the same information. So some of the questions that you will get answers to in this presentation are what a day will look like for your child, what the basic schedule is, courses that we offer, activities that they can participate in after school. We'll discuss how your child is placed in particular courses at Field, as well as the timeline for placement, when you'll find out what particular classes your child will be placed in. And then any other information I think might be helpful to familiarize you with Field. So what does a day look like for a student at Field? Well, our school day officially begins at 8:30 when students are released to their lockers to get prepared to head to first period, which begins at 8:37. The school day ends at 3:30, except for on Mondays, which are early dismissal. We dismiss at 2:30. Students may enter the building every morning by 8 o'clock, and they can report to the Commons, or if they have a meeting with a teacher, they can attend a student council meeting, and some of our athletic teams will also hold practice in the morning. The library is also open in the morning, our Learning Resource Center, for additional help, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. So here are generally all the classes that our students take in a day. They take 80 minutes of English Language Arts, an hour of math, and then social studies, science, Spanish, physical education, fine arts, and lunch are all 40 minutes apiece. And each student will have an advisory, which is 20 minutes every single day. Every student takes English Language Arts, and our English Language Arts scope and sequence for Field Middle School is aligned to the Common Core State Standards. And 6th through 8th grade curriculum includes multiple thematic units per grade level. Instruction, practice, and assessment are done in the 4 literary components of reading, writing, speaking, and listening. All of our ELA teachers incorporate self-selected independent reading into their ELA block, as well as word work, including Greek and Latin root words, and grammar instruction using mentor sentences for analysis. Reading lessons are really focused on comprehension and text analysis skills. We use a variety of text types, including short stories and novels and drama and poetry and informational text pieces, including articles, editorials, biographies, and autobiographies. The writing curriculum incorporates the 6 traits of the writing process and analysis of model text. We base these on the 3 models of writing of argumentative, informative, explanatory, and narrative writing pieces. We do practice collegial discussions as well through literature circles. But our overall goal for our English Language Arts program is for our students to be readers and writers who use literacy to express themselves confidently, and to use literacy to learn about the world around them, and to use literacy to influence the world in a positive way. As I mentioned earlier, they take this course for 80 minutes a day. The levels of English Language Arts classes we have, most students take the General English Language Arts, known as ELA. Some students will take ELAW, which is our accelerated. We usually have 1 section of that in 6th grade. And our students who are learning English take a sheltered English Language Arts class. We have 3 levels of mathematics courses per grade level at Field. We have an on-grade level course, an accelerated course, and a twice accelerated course. The curriculum for each course is fully Common Core standards based, with high school standards incorporated into some of the accelerated courses. Students on the accelerated pathway complete high school Algebra 1 in 8th grade. Students on the twice accelerated pathway complete Algebra 1 in 7th grade and Geometry in 8th grade. Teachers use a concrete to representational to abstract sequence of instruction. Although level courses are inherently more homogeneous, the teachers still recognize the need for differentiation and consequently employ practices to ensure that needs of all learners are met. So this slide just kind of gives you an idea of where they would start their high school career based on the math course that they take in 6th grade. So Common Core on grade level math in sixth grade will end up in Algebra 1 as a freshman. If they're in the single accelerated class in sixth grade, they will end up in geometry or geometry honors in freshman year, and then the double accelerated will be in Algebra 2 for their freshman year. However, we do not make the placements, the high school does, but this is our best guess on if where they start in sixth grade, where they might end up when they enter high school. The social studies scope and sequence for Field Middle School is aligned to the Illinois Learning Standards for Social Science, the C3 framework, the Illinois Social Science State Mandates, and the Common Core State Standards History/Social Studies Reading Standards. Our teachers use a variety of primary and secondary source documents and DBQs, or document-based questions, to teach the four core disciplinary concepts of social studies, which are civics, geography, economics and financial literacy, and history. The sixth grade social studies curriculum focuses on ancient world civilizations, including river civilizations, classical civilizations as in Greece and Rome, and the Middle Ages and the Renaissance. Our seventh grade students focus on U.S. history, and eighth grade is modern world history. We have a general social studies class, and for our English learners, they take a sheltered social studies class. Science at Field is aligned to the next generation of science standards. The curriculum includes 3 core content units of life, earth, and physical science per year for grades 6 through 8, and grades 7 and 8 have chemistry units. The curriculum design follows an integrated approach to science content topics with an increase in complexity at each grade level. The sixth grade science curriculum integrates 1 physical science unit on light and waves with 3 earth science units on water, weather, and rock formation. Seventh grade will have more biological science study, and eighth grade will have physical and chemical science. Every single day, students have a 20-minute advisory, and the advisory basically serves as their homeroom. This is their home base. So if they have a particular problem or question, they will go to their advisor, and you are encouraged to do the same. They're kind of your first place to go when you have a concern, is to contact your child's advisor. Most of the advisories are basically made up of math classes. So if your child has math class, they're going to notice that the same students in their math class are also in their advisory. It doesn't happen to be your math teacher, however, it could be a different teacher, but they're the same students is what they're going to notice. The main focus of our advisory program is to teach students to organize, to really develop their skills of executive functioning. And all of our staff were trained in the Rush Neurobehavioral Executive Functioning Program. And this is a research-based foundation for building key executive functioning strategies and skills necessary for long life success. The school adopted common key necessary supplies and materials to use with all students. Materials include an innovative all-in-one binder / backpack / computer bag with specifically colored plastic folders that correspond to specific classes. They get a Chromebook, and then they also get a paper agenda. All students receive the exact same materials. And we use advisory class to really teach best practice strategies and skills for organizing, study skills, and for goal setting. We also use this time to teach social emotional learning standards and other school business that students need to know about. Every student at Field will take physical education class every single day. All students will change for PE, and uniforms will be available when they arrive in the fall. All students will get a brand new uniform. It is included in their student fees, but you'll also have an opportunity to purchase additional sweatshirts or sweatpants. And our program is built upon the concept that PE should be relevant and engaging for all kids. We build our units and lessons to facilitate learning through psychomotor, cognitive, and affective social-emotional domains of learning. Our program places a heavy emphasis on the affective social-emotional domain by focusing on students exhibiting positive peer interactions, developing and displaying a healthy attitude, and fostering an inclusive mindset within an extremely diverse environment. Most students at Field will take Spanish. We offer 3 years of middle school Spanish, and it basically equals 1 year of a high school course. At the end of the 3 years of middle school Spanish, students are considered to be mid-level novice speakers. And students who take the 3 years of Spanish generally move into Spanish 2 or Spanish 2 honors. However, again, that's really dependent upon how they perform at field and where the high school places them. Students may choose to take another language, however, when they get to high school. They're not stuck in Spanish just because they took that course in middle school. Every single year a child is at field, they have 4 fine and applied arts courses. Each of these courses is 9 weeks long, and so they have 2 different fine and applied arts classes each semester. So one semester they will have family and consumer science and STEM lab, and the other semester they will have 9 weeks of art and then 9 weeks of music. Our FACS, or Family and Consumer Science course, focuses mainly on sewing and pattern interpretations, learning trends in health and well-being, and then the science and advanced culinary practices through the baking and pastry specialty of cooking. Our science, technology, engineering, and math program, 6th grade students mainly learn manual drafting skills and some basic principles of engineering in order to build a 10-inch by 3-inch truss. It's pretty cool. And then they will learn how to test their truss for its efficiency and give it a rating on its effectiveness. Our art program really uses a lot of big ideas to make meaningful studio art and connects across our curricula. The elements and principles of design are taught and used in all of our art classes, and our 3-year curriculum is really examined through the ages of cave through the Renaissance, and students engage in personal expression in a variety of 2D media, such as painting and printmaking and value drawing and perspective drawing. Our music program, the goal is to give kids the tools to better understand how composers communicate through music, appreciate the joys of making music together, and to develop the tools to be independent, lifelong musicians. They do this through composition, musical analysis, and instrumental instruction, with an emphasis on learning the ukulele, the keyboard, and the guitar. Special education students and English language learner students are provided a resource class instead of taking Spanish. So students with IEPs have a resource class where it's a small group where they get individualized support from the general education classes that they take, whether that's working on homework or the teacher is reteaching some of the content. And then our English language learners also get a resource class similar. It's a class because they're learning English, they need additional support with the general education classes that they take. Again, items being retaught or taught in a different way. We also offer additional classes for students who might need support with reading or math or organizational skills. Students who need additional support with reading would get a reading intervention class where they focus on reading comprehension and fluency. We have a math strategy class, which is more about reteaching what the student learned in the core, but they may need just additional support in learning those strategies. We have math intervention for students who might come in with some gaps in their learning, or there might be some computation skills that they need to kind of really improve on. And so this would be an opportunity to do that. And then for students who have organizational challenges, we have a guided study. So this is a place where they can help get organized to do their homework. They can set goals. They can work on study skills. It's just literally what it says. It's a guided kind of study hall for your child who might be struggling with organization. Lunch and recess is 40 minutes every single day, and students go with their grade level. So 6th grade will have lunch and recess with all 6th graders. And students have hot lunch choices every single day, and they also have hamburger and chicken offered every day, and a la carte items are also for sale every single day. When students are done eating, they have several options. They can stay inside the commons and play air hockey or foosball or ping pong, hang out with their friends and just chat. If the weather is nice, they have the option to go outside to our beautiful quad to play basketball or foursquare or wall ball, or just hang outside in the nice weather. If the weather is inclement, they can stay inside the gym and play certain sports in the gym as well. If they want to study during lunch and recess, they do have the option to go down to the Learning Resource Center if they want to study. They also have the option to go work with teachers. Some teachers have something called academic lunch to support students as well. And then we also have, students who might make some poor choices. Detentions are usually assigned during lunch and recess for reflection to try and help students change their behavior. So the information we use to make placement decisions starts being gathered in the fall of the year before. So this past fall, your children took the cognitive abilities test. They also took MAP reading, language arts, and math in the fall and in the winter. Their teachers have completed a survey called the SIG Scales for Identifying Gifted Students. And students take the Ames Web benchmarking as well in the fall and in the winter. So all of these assessments are used to determine placement in math and English language arts classes, as well as if students we think might need some intervention, such as that guided study or math strategies or reading or math interventions. So the timeline for you finding out what classes your child has been placed in. So we take all that data I mentioned in the previous slide that was gathered between September and January of the previous school year. And at the end of this school year, we start making decisions about placement for math and English language arts. You will be notified through the mail after July 4th what math or English language arts program that your child was placed in. If your child was placed in double accelerated math, or accelerated English language arts, they will need to come to field and pick up work that they'll need to complete this summer in order to begin the class in the fall. In July and August, we're looking deeper into that data to determine if there are students who would benefit from guided studies, math strategies, or reading and math interventions. And those letters would be mailed home approximately 1 to 2 weeks before school begins. Now, after you receive the placement letters, and if you have any questions or concerns, contact me directly. We have many opportunities for students to participate in activities outside of the academic school day. The sports we have are co-ed soccer, girls and boys volleyball, girls and boys basketball. Wrestling is coming to field for the first time this coming school year, and we also have co-ed track. Most of the sports are tryouts, but we do have a few that are just walk-on. We also have some other activities. Our school musical is held every fall. Performances are usually right before winter break. All students are welcome to participate in the musical, and that could be in the backstage production or on stage. The only tryouts are required for specific roles. We have a student council that meets before school all year round, and it's available to any student who is interested. We also have a choir that comes together after the school musical, and then we have drop-in clubs every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So one mainstay club is Homework Hub, and that's where students can attend in the Learning Resource Center and complete their homework or get some extra help from teachers. The other clubs we've had this year, we had Science Olympiad, we had Kindness Club, and we had Origami Club. So it just depends on the year, but the mainstay is definitely Homework Hub. Also, every morning from 8:05 to 8:30, students are welcome to come to the library to work on assignments or meet with teachers as well. Band at Field is held in the morning before school, and then sectional lessons are held during the day. Our concert band practices every Tuesday and Thursday starting at 7:45 a.m. and wind ensemble practices on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday before school. As I mentioned, sectionals take place during the school day on a rotating schedule, and band is a graded class. So some important dates to remember. Look for that placement letter after July 4th. And again, if you have any questions or concerns, contact me directly. We hope to have our new student orientation on Friday, August 14th from 1:30 to 2:15. This will depend on social distancing rules by the state, but if we are allowed to hold it, it's a nice review for any student who wants to come back to the school. And we kind of just give a lot of this information to students again to try and help them become comfortable because they are nervous. They'll also have an opportunity to practice with some combination locks, which I highly recommend them doing over the summer. It's the one thing that they get really nervous about. So knowing how to do it before the first day would be really helpful for them. We also hope to have Field Family Fest. This is an annual tradition where students come to school. They would, all sixth grade students go to the auditorium. There's a presentation by all their sixth grade teachers, and then they get their schedule. They find their locker. We also have spaghetti that is provided. PTO sells spirit wear. It's a really fun night. And then the first day of school would be August 20th. And what to expect? Well, you will either put your child on the bus or you will drop them off at school and they will walk in by themselves and they will report to their advisory. They will learn kind of the ins and outs of being a student at Field. They'll learn the expectations that we have for them as they move about the building, their behavior expectations. They will start to learn how to use their brand new backpack, how to organize their backpack for the executive functioning skills that they're going to learn. That starts on the very first day. But by the second or third day, they should be into the swing of things and curriculum gets going and we hit the ground running with awesome learning at Field. A few reminders from our nurse, and you can find all of this information on our website. But we just want to remind you that a physical exam paperwork is needed to start the school year. Updated and complete immunization records. Sixth graders will require shots. We require a dental form and completed forms if your child requires any medication at school or has any other health condition that requires the support of the nurse. We would love all of this by the first day of school. Complete an athletic eligibility requirement form if your child intends to play in any sports. As I mentioned before, all this information is also on our website, and you can also call our school nurse, Mrs. Gastelum, with any questions about what is required for your child to start school.